Hello, guys. Welcome back to another video. I said that very slowly. So, today, guys, I'm doing a video that was requested by me a very long time ago about Amulet. Let me go in the other room quickly because something is going on outside that I need a speaking room. So let me continue the video. Okay, so the video that was requested of me is to rank my favorite Amulet characters. So that's what I'm gonna do right now. It's like procrastination of videos, except I have unlimited time to, as when I can do it theoretically, until the topic gets irrelevant. The point is that I'm doing it now, and this person probably won't watch this video. That is the problem. But I forgot what the username was, and I don't want to search the video because that's going to take forever. I have a lot of other things to do. Right now, I have time to do this, but I only have time to make the video, not like check the comments. Yeah. So, Herm. Do I feel okay? So ranking my favorite characters. I've never really thought about this, and I should have probably thought about it before I made this video, or reread some of the books. But I think we're going to do a really quick ranking at the end, or I'll just list a few characters that I like based on the analysis I make in this video. So I have all my Amulet books out here. I can't wait for the 9th one to finally come out in February. Been waiting for that for many years. Since 5th grade, my life has changed. I've gotten taller and my voice has become deeper, and the book has just not come out, and it's making me rage. No, I'm kidding. It's not. But I've actually gotten 10 times older since I read that. Not 10 times, that's an exaggeration. Point is, let's get into the video now. So, the real characters that stay through the majority of these books is obviously going to be Emily, because she's the main character, and her brother. Now, there's a lot of characters that have become that were relevant in the first few books, and then became irrelevant as the story got more complex. That is what happens with a lot of these types of franchises. It happens with the Amulet universe, Amulet-verse, because everyone calls these types of fictional creations verses now to represent, universe, multiverse, blah, blah, blah. The Amulet-verse is the new term I have coined. I am the primary Amulet-verse analysis guy, it seems, right now. But if I'm ranking characters, Emily has had great development. The complexity of the story has actually been very good. The writer has improved very much in both his animation and his storytelling. Now, in terms of characters, I liked Leon, the fox guy. I liked him as a character. I think they should have done more with him. But the author didn't use him after, book 4. He barely made an appearance, and he made an appearance, but it wasn't too major. And in the 8th book, it's he has one talk with Emily's mother, which I thought could have gone much farther. These characters are always up to how the writer writes them in the discretion, and how the story will play out with the writer. Because this story is not bad, it's just that it can't always use all the characters. Like if a story has too many characters, that doesn't mean it's necessarily good, obviously. So, a story works with what it has. It's become more complex in one way and pushed out other ways of being complex. I don't want to get into that right now, but I still do think they should have done more with Leon. I liked him as a character. The only reason I don't put him in like top 5 is because he wasn't written in the other books to have really any development. His backstory was very intriguing to me. The way the author Kazu, what's his name again? Why am I forgetting this? Kazu Kibuishi, right? The way he set up the whole world building of the story is obviously great. It's like a steampunk, futuristic, historical, everything combined, but that's not really the point. The backstories in the book about the amulet and what's being said is very intriguing to me. It's a very good series, very unique series. It's special in a way because it's only a book series. That's also kind of psychological thing I could get into later. But in terms of characters, Mr. Leon should have gotten a lot more attention. Now, there are characters in like I find that book 3 and 4 are almost in some ways like filler books, and it's really hard to say that because the series is only 9 books, and there are also no like spin-off backstory books or anything. It is one series. But I always never really liked books 3 and 4 that much. I think they're needed fillers. It's not like they're fillers, but it's like the author establishes a backstory that you kind of have to get through to make the rest of the series good. That's something that I find happens in a lot of stories. Because in book 4, a lot of the characters are really well written, but in terms of the rest of the series, they seem like filler characters. Like, what's his name? Ally's father? How do you pronounce your name? I don't know. Like, Vigo stays, obviously. He's a primary character after this. He's well written. Let's see. I didn't pick out pages of these books, but let's see where we're going here. Oh yeah. So those are Ally's parents. Her father turns into the captain of the resistance. He's a very major character in this story. His wife completely doesn't exist in any of the books. And then they only focus on her later with Nevin. So we forget that her parents exist. There's a lot of potential because I find that actually the author can write characters really well, but he also can write a story well that needs characters. Writers need things when they can. And it's not like needing things is leaving plot holes, but in the case of Amulet, a lot of characters are really left behind. This is a series that would need a spin-off. There's a lot of series and franchises that don't need spin-offs, but they make them anyway for money. This series needs a spin-off. I don't know which character it would necessarily be about. Having one spin-off about a non-Stonekeeper character, I think, is enough. Maybe about Leon, actually. But, yeah. So, I like Leon. But there are not really any characters that stay. In the 6th book, they introduced the mayor of Lucine. She's an interesting character. Trellis. Okay, I figured it out now. I think Trellis has to be my favorite character. Trellis. He is the only character besides Emily. Obviously, he is one of the main characters, but Vigo showed up in the 4th book, and Trellis has been there since book 1. So I think I'll say my favorite character is Trellis. I just that thought just clicked in my head as I was like analyzing the whole thing. Sorry, my camera hasn't been moving around. Like this type of thing is like the thing you listen to in the background, and my videos almost get boring as I make them. But the point is that as I was doing my rant, I figured out that Trellis is actually my favorite Amulet character. And the reason why is we'll go into it right now. So we have in book 1 we know that Trellis is evil and he's kind of under the curse of the king. And this whole storyline with the Elf King that was resolved in book 8 was very interesting with Trellis. He becomes the king of the elves. That whole storyline's resolved. And then the author moves on to the shadow storyline, in which, like, the shadow storyline, in which is the bigger world of the Amulet series, aside from the Elf Kingdom and whatnot. So I think Trellis has a good development with the elves at the end. He stays in the majority of the books. Besides book 4, which is funny, and book 3 too, which are, I guess, the worst books now that I think about it. They're filler. And then, in book 5 he returns, book 6, 7, 2, 1, so on. So Trellis is my favorite character. And then it'll probably have to be Emily, because she's a main character and she also has very good development throughout the series, and how she becomes more mature and how she controls herself and whatnot and so on. But yeah. For a third character, I guess I don't know, because there's Vigo, but he's a mentor, but he's also kind of there. Like, I don't find Vigo to be very fun. Like, he's a good character, but I don't think he's like standing out to me that much. Nevin also, I think Nevin has good character development. I think a character that everyone kind of forgets about, partly because she isn't really focused on that much, nor is she really in all the books to a full extent, is Emily's mother, who in book 1 obviously has a large role. Book 2 doesn't. Book 3, 4, with book 3 I think she does. Book 4, not really. Book 5, not really. Book 6, not really. But then in 7 and 8, is it 7? No, in 8, she kind of like comes back a bit. But Nevin really takes the spotlight here. But I do believe in the 9th book she will play a pretty big role, because Emily is going to help all of them, and the family will be reunited as it was united in the beginning. And I wonder a lot about Emily's son, like what's going to happen with him. So, in summary, I would say Emily and Trellis are probably my 2 favorite characters. Trellis being first. If I pick the main character as my favorite character, I feel like everyone would say, like, oh, that's so generic. She's the main character. Well, but I do think Trellis is pretty interesting. We'll see what happens in the 9th book. I still believe my stance of my favorite characters will stay true. Nevin being like my 3rd favorite. And Ally is starting to also have a place in my heart. But we'll see. Make sure to like and subscribe if you enjoyed. If you want more Amulet content, just comment down below. I could expand my analysis on the Amulet verse, and we could become we could rival those channels that do DC and Marvel analysis, So, we'll see. Bye-bye. And also, Diary of Wimpy Kid 18 is coming out soon. Make sure to watch that book review for the Diary of Wimpy Kid verse. Bye-bye.